Yo, what is going on, guys? It is midnight, bringing you another video years down the line, and today we are playing Fairy Tail Fierce Fight, a new gacha game I'm playing, even though I said I was going to quit in my last video. But yeah, I'll talk about the whole not uploading situation at the end of the video, so if you watch my channel from before, then you can just skip to that bit in the timestamps at the bottom. But otherwise, this video is just going to be a tutorial on this game, and I'm going to give a few tips on each mode that I wish I knew at the start of the game, and a few tips on how to kind of progress a little bit better. And at the end as well, you got some gift codes, so again, if you want the gift codes, you can either check in the description or just skip towards the end and you can see those. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first tip that I would give is to do with the units, and that would be whether you're free to play or spending. I would recommend to only level one unit of each type. So for example, one power unit. In this section, I would recommend Hot Eye the most until Mirror Jane comes out, but Hot Eye is by far the best power unit. I don't even think it's a question. I won't get into too much detail on the units or anything like that, just because that'll be another video. But level up one unit on each area and type. So power, I'd recommend Hot Eye if you have him. Agility, I would recommend Ikaruga, if not Urza. Urza is a lot more free to play friendly. And I'll just say one of each area. So Juvia and Wendy are good in this section. In the agility section, or wisdom section, sorry. Juvia you get for free, and Wendy is an amazing unit, especially right now because there's no real healers in the game, and you do need healers later on down the line. You won't notice it at the start of the game. And versatility, this one doesn't actually matter too much, because there's not actually any good versatility units just yet. The good ones are these three here. None of them are available when you first start on your server. Jalal is available after the first week, I believe. We're meant to get him on our server after this reset, so I'll be doing a summoning video on him. But everyone should get a free copy of Jalal anyway. Sorry about that little cut there, but yeah, I was just saying with Jalal, he should be arriving for every person within the first week of the server. After the first week, he will come out as a banner, but you do get him for free as a free star, and he's a very good unit. Luxus is insanely good as well from what I've heard, but I haven't obviously got to use him. And Urza is also very good. So those three are very good, but they're not out yet. But versatility doesn't actually matter too much. If you wanted to pick one, Brain, Lucy are good. Soul is decent. Racer, not so much. And then level up one from each type, because you will need them for shield break later on down the line. But I won't get into that, because again, that'll be something else when I go into team building and things like that. That's tip number one. I would level up one of each type, one of each element. Tip number two is going to be with your quest. And obviously you want to make sure you're keeping up with this as much as you can, because this is, you know, the main story. You're going to need to farm this for materials. But something I see a lot of people kind of skip out on is if you go to elite quests, you got these little side quests here on the side, and they'll tell you things like, you know, use 3 wizards, use 1 wizard, don't die, don't use dodge, whatever. Do these, they give you summons, they give you gems, they give you gold, they give you stuff that you need. And not a lot of people do these. I've tried to keep up. Some of them are really hard. I've only literally just been able to do this one. Beating him with just one unit is quite tough, because, you know, at the stage of the game that we're in right now, trying to kill that guy with one unit is pretty tough. But anyway, yeah, very short on that one. Just make sure you're doing these elite side quests, just because they do give you really, really good stuff. And for free to play players, you get more summons. What's not to like about that? Speaking of summons, we'll go on to the next tip, which is to do with summons. Number one is when you start your server, you'll get these two banners. You'll get Ikaruga and Guildarts. If you're going to summon for one of these units, I would summon for Ikaruga. She is insanely good. She has carried me through the whole game. Like, I just don't take her off my team. She's very good. If you start the game and you're going to pick between one of these two, you pick her. I personally would recommend to get her 4-star, because she is going to be a unit you're going to keep in the game for a long time. Guildarts is okay. He's not great. He's going to easily be replaced later down the line. If you like him as a character, then by all means go for him. But Ikaruga is good to go for. Yeah. And obviously make sure you're claiming all of these if you do summons on any of the units. This gear banner here, just don't use gems on this ever. You'll get loads of tickets from just daily quests and just doing things in the game, and you also get the items themselves from like guild activities and things like that. So you don't actually really need to spend your summons on here. And to be honest with you as well, the only ones that you really want are the red ones, but you can level them up, which again I'll get into in another video. You can get these red ones a lot easier than just summoning them. You don't have to be lucky. These ones, if you get one of these, then yes, that's amazing. But let's be real here, 0.01%. Yeah, I'm not spending gems on that. There's no way. Make sure you're using your elite recruit and your normal recruits whenever you get them. And whenever you get these little tokens at the top, these 200, well, I say when you get 200, always get this point chest. It's literally whatever you get from there is good. The 200 gems is literally the worst thing, but think about it. You get 200 and you know, you literally get a summon no matter what. And I actually got quite lucky on this server. I actually got an SSR unit, a whole SSR unit from this. I can't remember which one it was, so I'd recommend that. You could go for shards of a character if you're close to starring them up, but you can only buy these shards once they're 4-star anyway, so just get the point chests every time. They're very good. So that's just summons. The next thing I'll talk about is don't use your gems in arena. I don't know why people do this. The only time, this is a very short one, the only time I would ever use gems in the arena is if it's coming to the end of the week and you're not in the top 20% to get promoted to silver, gold, whatever division you're in. That's the only time I'd use it. Otherwise, you can just win fights and just stay in the top 20%. You don't actually really get anything different from being first than being 10th, really. You still get the same amount of coins per hour, roughly, and the difference is not even that big. You don't get a title for finishing first. The only exception is when you're in the last division. You can get a few more points and coins. Fine. Maybe use gems if you think it's worth it in the legendary division, but at the same time before then, you just don't do it. Save your gems. Really easy one. I don't know why people spend gems on it. I guess bragging rights, but hey ho, I guess. Well, we're back. Sorry about that. That's cut number 2. The game has crashed twice for me. I'm guessing it's because I'm screen mirroring my phone onto my computer. It never crashes. So, but anyway, the next thing I'd say is about this palace mode, the floors. Make sure you're getting as high as you can on this because it's like an idle thing. So you get gold, you get these to upgrade your gear, and also you get these coins which are very good with the shop that you can get. You just want to make sure you're just getting as high as you can. And also if you're starting the server and you get to floor 50, you get a free SSR unit. I'm about to get to floor 100, which is 10 limited summons, but this floor is just absurd at the minute. I can't do it at all. But yeah, when you go into the shop, always get the summons. I got the soul shard just because I can. I'm kind of over capping on these money now. I'm getting more than I would. But yeah, just make sure you can buy the 2 summons at least. And then if you ever need materials at the end of the week, then by all means go for it. But yeah, very simple. Just make sure you're as high up as you can on this. And if you fail an attempt, you don't actually lose your stamina. So there's no reason for you not to try every now and then. And if you can't do it, then just use your stamina elsewhere. Make sure you're getting as high as you can. And also within the first 2 weeks of the game, there is a contest. You can, obviously, the higher you get on here, the more rewards you get. So these what are they called, the selector, whatever they are, these little gemstones, energy stones, that's it. They're really good. If you can make, well, the top 3 is obviously not for everyone, but even if you can just about get in the top 10, or even the 4-star one is good, because I'm struggling to even get 4-star ones. They're the best ones, but 5 and 6-star, I haven't even got any gemstones at 5 or 6 stars. So yeah, make sure you're doing that. The next thing is the Pandemonium. Now obviously you want to make sure you do this daily, but there's not really any tips you can do on this one. The only thing I would say is when you're using your assist is I would obviously make sure, for one, that you're doing the hardest difficulty you can when you're assisting someone, because you'll get rewards even if someone else kills it. So let's say I assist this Tom's guy, he's obviously not been able to do it and I can't do it, then someone else helps, we'll all get the rewards. So make sure you're doing the hardest difficulty. And also if you're in a decent guild, make sure you're helping your guildmates, because you actually get bonus rewards for helping a guildmate rather than just a random person on the server. So that's one thing I would say about this. Now obviously another thing I should probably have said at the start of the video is you're not going to have all these modes from the get-go. You do have to level up to unlock some of these, but if you're watching this video and you're about to start a server, or if you are in a server and you're early days in, then these are good things to kind of keep note before you get into these events if you really want to maximize your progress. Then you've got the Tower of Heaven. So tip number, what are we on, like 7 now? So Tower of Heaven, I actually made this mistake. Now this is a weekly event, and the rewards in this are probably the best in the game, I would say. Like weekly you can get so much stuff, like, and you can choose what you want. Now with this event, once you use a character and you beat the mission, that's it. That character is gone for the week. You can't use it. So what you want to do is on the earlier floors, I can't scroll down. On the earlier floors, you want to use your weakest characters and try to only use one at a time, so you can use more characters for the later levels. Now I'm stuck here right now on floor 18 because I don't have any male characters, male wisdom, male, you know, legal guild. All I have are my 2 main characters. So I'm hoping when I get Jalal tomorrow, or if I get him tomorrow, I can do this mission and then continue with my other Ikaruga, maybe get to floor 20. But don't be disheartened if you can't get to a high floor. This mode is quite difficult once you start getting to like floor 15, I would say. So yeah, on that one, just make sure you're starting with your weakest characters. And if you really want to be efficient, you could wait until the end of the week so your character's as high as level as you possibly can, and you know, you can try and push it a little bit more. I've kind of got to the point now where it's quite difficult to level up characters, so I just kind of done it at the start of the week. I wanted those rewards. I'm a bit greedy. Now wizard test, this is tip number 8. I've already done it. This is every 3 days, I believe it starts. Every 3 days you get this mode. Essentially, you fight enemies and then you get rewards. Okay, well, that's cut number 3. I just have to ignore that. As I said, I'm using a screen mirroring system, and it's asking me to subscribe. You don't want to see that. Anyway, when you're climbing up this on this mode, one thing I would say is once you beat floor 1, then it will give you the option to choose a difficulty for floor 2. If you choose the hardest difficulty, you'll get more rewards. What I would recommend, especially if you have Wendy, because she can heal, put Wendy on your team. But at the start, you get to choose a support partner. Choose whichever support partner you think is going to be best for you. When you get to the last boss, this is the real problem. So when you get to the very last boss, it can actually potentially be quite difficult for some people. What I recommend is when you get to the last boss, chuck one character in, usually the weakest one, let your support partner deal damage, and then when he dies, deal as much damage as you can before you die, and just rinse and repeat. You'll wiggle that boss's health down, and eventually you'll kill it. Just keep chucking one person in at a time. Doesn't matter if they die. That's one thing I would say when you get to the last level. So always choose a hard level when you get to floor 1. And then when you get to the final boss, if you are struggling, don't use your main team. Save that till the end, unless you think you can beat it with your main team. I mean, I can, but like there was one time where I kind of didn't. So that was my strategy to kill the boss. I just used one character and let my support partner deal damage then, because he revives even if he dies. So you could do that. Next one, sorry, I think I've got a couple more. So the next one is the Battle of the Underworld. You unlock this at level 38. I can't show you this one because I'm not level 48 yet, but with the Underworld, the only thing that I can really say on this is obviously you want to try and get as high score as you can. It doesn't cost any stamina or anything to attack, so you can try as many times as you want, try different team comps and everything like that. But one thing that I found is you really only need one good character in each area. So you don't need 3 strong power units in power. Yes, you'll deal more damage to the boss in the second wave, but to be honest with you, he doesn't really do that much damage. So if you just use one strong character, you can pretty much one-shot everything with him. You don't need to use many good characters in each. If you have more than one good character in each role, then go for it. But I don't even have that. So just use one character in each area. And yeah, try to think beforehand as well. Like for example, the physical and the no deploy condition.
try to do those ones first, because they're the ones that, you know, you might accidentally not have any good physical units, or you know, well, physical units is the main one. You might not have any good physical units because you might use them in the other other areas. So I would start with those two as well. And then the last tip I'll give you guys before I give you all the codes, I won't activate them or redeem them because I already have, but the last tip is in guild. And in guild, you want to be doing this guild challenge as much as you can. You'll kill the first level boss. So if I go to point reward, you've got normal boss, pretty easy to kill. You should be able to kill that pretty easily. Extreme, obviously the more damage you deal, the more rewards you get daily, and it will also help your guild out. So the higher the rank your guild is, the more rewards you guys will get. But that's not the tip. The tip is when you it literally says it here, stage tip. So it will say skill 4, which is usually a one-shot kill. If not, you get stunned, which is going to slow you down, make you do less damage if you don't die. It will tell you what interrupts it. So week 1, it was stun. So make sure you always use a stun unit. This week, it's imprison. So Juvia is really good. Lucy's good for some different modes. Kageyama can imprison, and there's a few other ones as well. The other thing as well is you need to keep in mind that, where is it? Yeah, here. So each day you can only use certain things. So Monday you can use any team you want, which is great, which is why most of our guild has done quite a bit of damage. Tomorrow you're going to see that we can only use power units, and I've already looked, there's no power units in the game at the minute that have imprisons, so we are just going to have to absolutely tank this boss tomorrow. But yeah, you just want to make sure you're bringing at least one unit that can interrupt, and you just want to keep dealing damage swap, skill swap, rinse and repeat. Just make sure you're getting that timing right. You'll eventually figure out when he's going to use skill 4. You can kind of get through like 2 or 3 cycles of characters before he does it. So yeah, that's my last tip there for guild. Now with the codes, as I said, you can either go in the description. I won't be able to redeem them, but you've got VIP 666 all in capital letters, and that will give you I believe 10 summons of the regular summons, these ones here. Let me get to them. You get 10 summons of these ones, which is good, great way to start. The only thing is, use it when you're on a server that you're happy with, because once you use it, you cannot use it on another server. So that is the only thing I would tell you. Then you've got VIP 888. Now it gives you quite a few rewards, but the main thing you get out of this is a free SR selector. And if it were down to me, I would recommend to choose Urza or Wendy. They are by far the best SR characters in the game. Honestly, either or is good for you. If you already have Ikaruga, maybe go for Wendy just to have a healer. But if you don't have Ikaruga, you can easily go for Urza. She will get you through the game quite well. She's good tank, good damage dealer. And the last one is 0401, which will give you a box which, when you open it, you have the chance to either get 1, 2 or 3 of these summon cups for the limited banners, or the rate up banners, I guess, when they're out. So they're the free codes. Make sure you use them. They'll help you out a lot when you're starting the game, especially the 2 VIP codes. And yeah, hopefully this video has helped you. Tomorrow I'll probably be uploading a video as well, which will be to do with summoning for Jalal. And yeah, that's practically all of it. Now, the rest of the video is just going to be me talking about my channel from before. So if you come to watch the video for this, then, you know, you can skip out now. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more daily content on Fairy Tale and guides. In regards to the YouTube channel, I'm planning on coming back. I'm going to be covering this game. Obviously I'm a massive fan of Fairy Tale. You know, Midnight is my favorite anime. Well, not my favorite anime character, but you know, he's one of my favorite characters of Fairy Tale. So I'm planning on playing this game. I am also planning on playing a few other games coming forward. One of them being Wuthering Waves. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I didn't get to play the beta, but essentially it looks like Genshin Impact but Dark Souls, I guess, if you really want to describe the game, which I think would be quite fun to play. And I might even play the solo leveling game as well and cover that on the channel, but let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, I am planning to come back and be a bit more permanent now. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. People that have watched my channel before, you know that I can be quite inconsistent sometimes, but any of you that are watching this years later, then I appreciate you coming back, and it's good to be back, I guess. So that's all for the video. Hopefully the guide has helped people that needed the guide, and hopefully that, you know, has kind of explained my coming back. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.